All right, we are at Ralston Arena tonight with your Omaha Junior Mavericks Peewee white team facing the Omaha Junior Lancers select team. It's a good question. So we'll just say, go black. Nice little pre-game hype up. I do not have my list of names today, so we're really going to be winging it with that. Here we go. Okay, looks like we're going to start with Chad Boyle, number 30 over here on the right winger. I believe that's Von Case on the far side. And I'm going to guess Collins in the center. We got Hannah Pontow on our left. And that is Emmett Rakowski on our left D. All right, face off here. Collins has it in the neutral zone. It's going to go back to Hannah Pontow. She's going to chip it up right into the neutral zone again. Here comes Chad Boyle to try to give him some grief there. He comes away with it, gets it into our offensive zone, but the other team is going to get it right back. We're kind of dancing around the line, and that is an offsides. That's expected. Nobody was really in the right position there. All right, at the dot over here, the Pepsi dot to be specific, we have Pinkelman taking the puck drop. We have McVeigh on our right winger, Johnny Pollock over there on the left. That's James Roman there as our D, along with Derek Brown, who is headed to the corner right now. He's going to chip it up the side, hopefully get it up there. Other team's going to get a hold of it in the neutral zone. We're going to have a little battle here along the boards. And Johnny Pollock is going to come away with it. They're going to give him some grief there at the line and swing it back their way. Show him where that is. Sorry, got another kid arriving here. All right, we're coming up the wall into the neutral zone here. Just crossed the blue line. And they're going to send it back down into their offensive zone. Looks like he's going to dangle and try to get a shot off. Luckily, we get a stick on it. So it goes up the wall. McVeigh's got it right now, coming across the center. He does have people chasing him. He's going to make a good decision and get it up the wall to Johnny. Johnny's going to try to get a shot off. There's Gino Florio chipping it up to the corner. He's going to dingle around. A couple guys tried to get a shot off there. That's good work. Getting it towards the net is the point. All right, Junior Lancers are going to get it back into the neutral zone. There's Gino Florio with it again here, carrying it in strong. Good job, bud. Pushing towards the net, coming around, gets it taken off his stick by the Lancers. Back to Hannah Pontow here. We're going to have to reset since we popped out of our offensive zone, and Lancers are going to get a hold of that, going to get a shot off. But there's Gianna Spencer between the pipes, holding it down, no goal. All right, we have Gino Florio, probably Pinkelman and Lunning. I'm not sure who the center is. Collins, all right, it's Collins again. And then Rakowski and Hannah Pontow out there. All right, scramble down in front of the net. There's Gino giving a fight along here. Eli Roman gets a stick on it, but they're going to take it back down to their corner. There's Hannah giving chase there. Coming up to Meyer on Lancers across. Lunning almost capitalizes on a mistake there, but they shove it back down into the corner. There's Eli Roman to give him a problem there along the wall, and there's Florio with it again. Gonna try to chip it up past them. Can't get it across the blue line. There's Rakowski with a hard stick. Just trying to get out of our zone. There's Lunning. Let's go, Lunning. He's got some guys after him. And there's the Lancers gonna turn it back around the other way. Huge size difference there in some of these kids. There's Derek Brown with a good stick, but they end up with it. They send it down towards the goal, but it was wide right, so no goal. Everybody's scrambling there in front of the net. just trying to avoid a goal. There's James Roman in the back, along with Brown, and it's going to come up to Florio again, right through the center. We just need to get it out of there, boys. Whew, there we go. I believe that's Collins there that finally gets it away from the worst spot where you can put a puck. And here's the Lancers bringing it up the side here. Back to James Roman. He's going to chip it up to Von Case. And then Chad Boyle's going to get a stick on it right here. And Lancers are going to give us some trouble, bringing it right back down to the goal. Going to get a shot off. And that is a goal. 1-0, Junior Lancers with 1 and Junior Mavs with 0. 11 minutes left in this period. Honestly, not even sure how many periods we're doing. I assume 3. They're calling this a scrimmage, but this is a pretty official looking game to me, so. There's Collins taking the face off. We've got Chad Boyle over here and Von Case on the far side. We've got Krantz and Ashmore here as our D. I believe that's Krantz. Yep, number 11. All right. Puck passes Ashmore back into the corner. There's Collins chasing it up to the goal. Good stick, Collins. So that guy cannot get a shot off. We're in the corner now. I will say without a net, it's easier to see. So that's 1 plus. That is, who is that? Von Case. Yep, chasing it up here. Back to Ashmore again. Gets 1 stick on it. And there's Collins to help out and Boyle, hopefully getting it up the wall. There's Chad Boyle with it right now. He's going to bring it over the blue line. Good job. Gets it down into our corner. Trying to get something set up. There's nobody in the center to help him out, partially because we're on a line change. All right, we're changing them out. We've got Hannah Pontal back here with Emmett Rakowski on D. Looks like Pinkelman taking the puck drop. And McVeigh as our right winger. Can't quite see the lefter. Johnny Pollack, that's right. All right. Puck is back in the corner. We're going to go up the wall. Rakowski's going to get a stick on that. He goes down, but does slow them down. Here come the Lancers again. Here's Hannah attempting to give some pressure. Good body pressure, Hannah. Good job. Slows him down. Gives our guys a chance to get down there. A wild shot goes off, but it hits Hannah, actually, I believe in the shoulder or foot. She looks like she might be hurt. She's going off right now. And in the chaos, the Lancers do score again. So that's 2-0. Yeah, they're checking Hannah out to make sure she's okay from that shot. We've got Florio here as our right winger. We've got Eli Rollman taking the center position, Lunning on the far wall. And here's Derek Brown and James Rollman in the back. All right, good job. Eli with some very good pressure there. He's going to try to get it to the center, chips it up into the air. Lunning tries to get a stick on it. We can't quite get a hold of it there. There's Derek Brown at the wall trying to slow him down. There's James Rollman at the blue line dangling around that huge guy. There's Eli Rollman comes out with it. A lot of sticks on it there. And I think that's going to be an off. Lancers switching their guys out. 9:11 left in the first period, and it is 2-0. Lancers with 2 and Mavs with 0. All right, we're taking it at the Pepsi dot here. Eli Rollman again, going to take the puck drop. All right, a flutter in the middle. Eli does get a stick on it. Ends up in the Lancers' hands. There's Florio with some good pressure, slowing them down. Again, at the wall, they're going to send it back behind. There's, I know Krantz is our other D. Oh, it's Ashmore there along the wall. Trying to give them some trouble. They're going to center it perfectly. That's Gianna with a good save there. pad save. I might have called her Hannah earlier. Sorry if I did that. There's Florio coming up with it after an attempted pass. Dangles around that guy. Gets knocked down. There's Eli Roman with a stick on it right here at the blue line. Back and forth across the blue line. There's, hopefully not a trip. Krantz with some physicality there in the middle. Guy goes down, and now we're out back at the side. And there's another shot, and Gianna blocks that one. So good job, Gianna. Now we're behind the net. There's Krantz shoving it up the side there to Lunning. Lunning has a stick on it, pretty good. Gets knocked down by the Lancers. They're going to send it all the way back over to our corner here. And there's Florio with it. He's coming across our blue line through traffic, gets it into our zone. He's going to get a little shot off, but it's going to go back in the corner. And there's Collins there to hopefully keep it in the zone. Oh, coming up the center here. That's Florio there at the blue line, and there's Hannah Pontal back on the ice. Oh, Gino comes away with it. Florio comes back across through lots of traffic. Collins gets, there's Case, tries a backhand, just a little too much sauce on it, goes wide left. Dang, that would have been cool. There's Collins at the wall along with Rakowski and Florio. Everybody battling there along the wall, and Hannah is going to be our defender back here. Luckily, they get a skew, and it sends it off into their corner. There you go, Case. Case with the stick there, breaks up that pass. Case still with it, trying to get it out of our defensive zone. There's Boyle chasing with no stick. He's going to have to turn around and pick it up. There's Rakowski up to, I want to say that's Collins, not 100% sure. Here he comes, and that is a total trip, but they don't call it. Okay, that was Collins. I was right. I noticed when he hit the floor from the tripping. All right. Lancers coming back down the middle here. We do have Hannah and we have James Roman down there. That is not the usual pair, so we must be working through some different shift changes. There's Boyle with a backhand up to Collins. He's going to get some pressure from the Lancers here. He's hanging with him though, gets a stick on it. And here is Johnny Pollock at the blue line. It goes all the way back to James Roman. Up to McVeigh, and then there's Chad Boyle colliding with the other player. Derek Brown back there, as well as James Roman. That's James Roman in the corner, trying to get it up the wall here. Does a good job of carrying it up. Carries it almost to the blue line, and it gets pushed out by McVeigh. Lancers working it around. Johnny Pollock comes up out of nowhere to give him some grief at their blue line, and there's Derek Brown to try to send it back up into the neutral zone. And that's an off. Here's McVeigh, our right winger. Probably Pinkelman. Is it number 4? Yep, Pinkelman at center. And Johnny Pollock over there on the right, trying to get a stick on that shot, but Gianna takes it in the shoulder. Good job, Gianna, with the block there. That's Johnny in the corner with the puck. Battling down there with Krantz. Ashmore is our other defender on this shift. There's a good little poke from Johnny Pollock. Tries to bring it out of our defensive zone, but doesn't quite make it. The Lancers get a hand on it again. Here goes a long shot. Ooh. Dang. Gianna with two good saves, but they did not let up there, and the third shot went in. So that is 3-0. There are 4 minutes, 40 seconds left. Junior Lancers with 3 and Junior Mavs with 0. Line change here. We've got Eli Roman in the center, Florio on right, and Lunning on the left winger. Emmett Rakowski there with the stick on it there. Good defending Emmett. He's going to try to keep it out of our defensive zone, but it does squeak in. Now he's battling down there along the wall with Eli Roman. Nope, yep. Who pops it out. Lancers are going to get it again. There's Florio giving chase. There's Hannah with a stick on it. She's going to send it up to Eli Roman. Florio and Roman back and forth a little. Florio bringing it up the wall here. Gets it into our zone. And there's Roman trying to keep it in. He sends it to the corner. Guys on the ground. Not sure why he did that to himself. There's Florio with the puck. Gets it to Roman. He takes a little shot. Goes off another guy, though. So doesn't even get down close to the net. They're going to take it back behind the net. Oh, that was an accident. There's Florio chasing there. Eli Roman and Lunning in on it too. Lunning's probably a little too far right now, but that's all right. We're a little bunched up here. All right, Lancers just trying to get it out of the zone and not successful again. There's Eli Roman sending it down again. Back over into the other corner. There's Florio to hopefully stop it at the wall. Yep. Pops out and Eli Roman gets a hand on it, backhands it back behind the goal. Lancers goalie is going to cover that up. I think it was just a bounce, not a shot, though. We've got 3:16 left in this period. And it looks like we're going to change everybody out. I see Chad Boyle on the right. There's Collins at center and Vaughn Case on the far side. We've got Derek Brown and James Roman. Back is our D. There's James Roman with it right there. Sends it down around the boards to behind the net. There's Chad Boyle battling back there. Gets it up. Ooh, good idea. Case just misses that pass to the center. Comes up to Brown, who sends it back down. And now Lancers are going to get it in through the neutral zone, and they're going to streak down and try to shoot, I'm sure. There's Collins with a great stick coming from behind. Knocks him off course and does not even allow him to get a shot off. That was great. There was a pass supposed to be up to Vaughn Case. Case misses, and it ends up being an icing. Okay, Ashmore Krantz out for defense, and we are keeping the same forwards. Lined up for the face-off. Collins pokes it up to a Lancers player who immediately gets a shot off, and Gianna does a good job defending that. Lancers going to get it down near the goal again. Hit too many sticks. There's Krantz that collided with the other player there. There's Zeke Collins coming up to challenge. They're going to get it back down in the corner, and that's Chad Boyle. Around to Krantz, around to Case. Case, hopefully, going to get it up the wall there. Yep, pops out. There's Collins. Hopefully going to get a shot off here. And the goalie is going to cover that one up. Good forward motion, though, by the Lancers. Putting it all together here. Hopefully we'll come up with a goal here soon. Okay, we've got Pinkelman taking the puck drop and McVeigh on right winger. So again, a little bit of a change in the lines. There's Johnny Pollock on the left. Whoops. Kid tripped over the red line. All right, Hannah Pontow chasing down here. This is McVeigh with the puck here along the wall. Hannah again trying to stop them from taking into their offensive zone. There's Pinkelman with it in the center, trying to dangle through three guys. McVeigh chasing. They're going to send it across. Pinkelman's going to come across, try to get a piece of it. There's Hannah trying to get her stick on it. And Johnny Pollock tries to come up to challenge. Pinkelman gets a stick on that one, and now Hannah is going to send it up to McVeigh, who does get it in the zone, and he's going to send it down into the corner. That was a good job there. Emmett Rajkowski over on that far side, hopefully going to keep this puck in. Let's see. Okay, they're going to get it out, but he does hold his ground there in the neutral zone. Pinkelman was helping there too, try to keep it in, back down in our corner. Shot around the boards up here to the Lancers, and it's going to come out to Rajkowski, and I believe that's an off. Oh, nope, it was a penalty, and it is on the junior maps. I was wondering why he walked over here and sat down. That's the penalty box, so that makes sense. We're in the fancy arena, so I'm not used to the setup. All right, we're going to take it down here, right in front of Gianna Spencer. Lancers going to try to get a shot off, and that is a goal. So that is 4-0. There's 39 seconds left in the first period. And at least McVeigh's out of the box. That's the silver lining. We're going to line back up at center. Giovanni Florio here on right winger. Eli Roman as our center. That's Lunning over on the far side. We've got Derek Brown and James Roman as our defenders. Puck drop. Eli with a good strong body there. Back to his brother James, who sends it all the way down, and we're going to play it. So we're going to try to get it to the center. Goes a little too far. James going to send it down pretty low. Lancer's going to come out with it. Pops out through the neutral zone, and they're going to try to get a pass off. James Roman there with some good pressure doesn't allow them to get just a 2-on-1. James Roman just took one in the body also. Thanks, James. Now here comes, who is this? Oh, Eli Roman. Up to Lunning. Good pass, Eli. And that is the end of the first period. Currently 4-0. Junior Lancers 4, Maps 0. All right, beginning of the second period here, if you're just joining us, there was a little glitch. I don't know if it cut out or not, but seems like we're back up and running. We do have a goalie switch here. Will Larson is in net now. Gianna Spencer had a good first period. We're lining up here with Collins at center. We've got Bon Case on this side and Chad Boyle on the other side. And then we have Krantz and Ashmore as our defenders. Lancers are going to take it back behind their own goal and I guess set up something. Up the wall there, they're going to take it across the neutral. That was actually a good pass, but Krantz is there to break it up. There's Chad Boyle getting his stick on it, and he's going to chase him down the line. That's Ashmore there. Krantz is going to try to reach that, but it's a stretch for everybody, so it ends up in the corner. They're just trying to get it into the middle. There's Collins with a stick on it, gets it out to the side. Hopefully Vaughn gets this up the wall here. Come on, Vaughn. Runs into traffic. Krantz gets a stick on it. Ashmore with some good pressure there, so they don't have a direct shot at the goalie. There's Chad Boyle in the corner, battling it out. And there's Collins coming in to assist. Backhands it up to their D. They're going to get a super long shot off. Vaughn's going to send it behind our net. There's Will scrambling after another shot. Why are so many people on the ground? Lancers send it into the corner. There's Ashmore, tries to get it up to one of his teammates. He does, and there's Case going to come away with it across the neutral zone. Lancers pick it off his stick. There's Chad Boyle to hopefully give some pressure there. Vaughn comes back up to try to help, and there's Ashmore slightly missing that one, so Krantz is going to try to send it around the boards. Banks it to himself. That was pretty cool. And we're going to try to get it out here. Johnny Pollock is on the ice now. Krantz again banks it up the boards. Gets it back into our offensive zone, but unfortunately the only one home are the Lancers. So there's Chad Boyle. trying to give him some heck down there. There's Collins too, coming up. Johnny Pollock tries to get a hand on it there. There goes Pinkelman, and the Lancers are streaking towards the goal. Try to send it back for a pass, and does not connect. Here's Krantz in the corner, chasing, and McVeigh and Ashmore. Whoop, there's Will with a catch. McVeigh and Ashmore both trying to head him off at the pass there. Shot gets off, and Will collects it. I think it was a glove save. All right, we're sending out Hannah Pontau and Emmett Rajkowski on defense. We have McVeigh over here on the left. Pinkelman as center and Johnny Pollock as the left winger. Yep, Johnny's gonna smack it out to the side there. Emmett Rajkowski in the corner. Trying to get it off the wall. Guy's just sitting on it. Come on. Gonna pop out. Pinkelman gets a stick on it. I think that's McVeigh. Yeah, McVeigh gets a stick on it. Lancer's gonna come up with it. Johnny comes up through the center and knocks it into our offensive zone, but unfortunately our Lancer catches it. Oh, Pinkelman got a stick on it there, hoping to turn it around. Lancers come back with it. It's gonna be a 2-on-1. There's Hannah with a good stick. Good job, Hannah. Knocks it out to the side. Rajkowski comes up with that one. Nice job, Emmett. And that is Johnny Pollock trying to push it up the side. Lancer's there to stop it and shove it back down into the corner. Rajkowski's gonna send it around. There's McVeigh. Just trying to get it up the wall. The puck is in our offensive zone, and there's a Lancer. Darn it. What are you doing there? All right, we've got a wild pass up the ice here. Trying to pressure, but that one's gonna go right in. I think that kid drove here. All right, we're gonna line back up at center here. Looks like we have Gino Florio, Lunning, and Eli Roman as our forwards. His brother James in the back, defender, along with Derek Brown. Some trouble in the box determining who scored the goal. Glad we figured it out. 5-0, Junior Lancers. Puck drop. There goes Eli Roman. Ooh, nice little move to get it through them. They come up with it. There's Florio trying to get a stick on it. Eli Roman again. And there's Lunning assisting. Good job, Eli. Get it up to the blue line. Florio getting a stick on it. He's going to try to come away with it. And he does. Hopefully gets a shot off here. Oh. Their goalie stops that one. He was trying to get around that left leg pad and didn't quite come away with it. There's Lunning there. Coming up into the neutral zone. Here's James Roman. He's going to try to carry it, and he does. Carries it right into our zone. Runs into a building down there. And now it is Lancer's puck back behind our net. There goes Lunning, streaking down there. Florio there, Eli Roman. We're trying to keep it in our zone. Eli and Florio there, trying to keep it down low. Lancers are going to try to pass it out. There's Roman with a nice little hit move to sit that kid down. And we're still in our zone. Just waiting for, there's Derek Brown over on the wall. Now we got a battle. There you go, Derek. Okay, Lancers finally pop it out. And James Roman's going to get called off to switch out while Krantz gathers the puck. I'm not sure what that was. They might have had a problem with that timing of the change. Oh, Nope, looks like a penalty on Derek. Derek Brown with a penalty. So now we'll play down a player, 4 players, while the Lancers have 5. Everybody's set. Puck's gonna get dropped to Collins. Von Case out there. Looks like probably, yep, Johnny Pollock. And then Krantz is gonna be our sole defender until this penalty is over. Lancers playing around with it down there. And we actually come away with it. They're gonna stop it at their blue line. Dangle it down into the corner. Trips himself. Hopefully they don't call that on us. Actually squeezes out of the zone somehow. There goes Collins chasing it. He has Von Case and Ashmore and Krantz as well, but that is an icing. All right, we are sending out, I see Hannah. And who else? Hannah and Rajkovsky. So are we pulling? All right, we're going 2D and 2 forwards on a power play. There's 55 seconds left on Emmett Brown's penalty. 9:11 left in the second period, even though the scoreboard says first. Chad Boyle over there, trying to break up one of those passes. There you go, Chad. Ooh. There's Collins with it. Gets a stick on it. Boyle with a nice screen there. I don't know if that was on purpose, but it was nice. There goes Boyle down into the corner. And Lancers come away with it. Doesn't quite catch the pass. There's Hannah giving chase, and Emmett Rajkovsky streaking down there too. And he gets a stick on it. Good job, Emmett. They're going to send it in anyways. Doesn't go in because Will's ready. There's Chad Boyle battling over on the boards, trying to get it up out of the zone. There's Collins right there to pick it up and sends it our way. Lancers are going to pick it up, but there's Boyle right there, ready to get it if he can. Derek Brown out of the box. Penalties up. We're at 5-on-5 hockey. 8:11 left in the second period. All right, Lancers behind their goal. Going to try to test Will again, and they don't get a shot off. Comes up to Chad Boyle. Gets stopped right at the blue line. There's Hannah Pontow chasing behind. Hopefully gets it up here to Johnny. Yep, perfect pass, Hannah. Good job. Johnny tries to get it up the wall. Pinkelman there to assist him. Comes across to the Lancers. He gets off a wild shot. Will didn't even have to worry about that one. There goes Hannah into the corner to try to get it from the Lancers player. There's Johnny streaking around the side, trying to break up their plays there. There was a lob shot down low, and Rajkovsky comes up with it, gets it up to Johnny Pollock, who's hopefully going to get it out. Nope, there's Rajkovsky again. We all had a shot at that one. Lancers down in the corner. There's Hannah. Hannah comes away with it, strips it right off his stick. Good job, Hannah. All right, here's Chad Boyle. This is a long shift for these guys. We got to get these guys off the ice. There's Hannah again, trying to get up the wall. Manages to touch Chad's stick, but he can't quite handle it. We've got Pinkelman chasing back around there, and Johnny Pollock is still on the ice. And here's McVeigh. That is James Roman there on D. Whoop, shot comes down. James Roman comes out with it. Sends it up the wall. There's McVeigh to try to get it. Doesn't quite get it. Derek Brown gonna pass it back up the wall. McVeigh kind of little backhand. Johnny trying to get a hand on it, but Lancers come away with it. There's Florio out there now. So Florio gonna come away with it. Florio gonna come through the neutral zone. Somebody gets a stick on it, stops him in his tracks. Johnny Pollock gets a stick on that. Florio's gonna come away with that one. kind of losing control of it, and they do take advantage of that. He was skating a little faster than his stick was going there. There's Derek Brown stopping him there. Wild backhand towards the net. Will easily covers that one up. 5:33 left in the second period. Junior Lancers 5, junior men 0. Eli Roman taking the puck drop, and there's, they get a real slick shot off down there, but luckily it doesn't go in. There's Roman coming up with it, Lunning there to try to stop them. Backhanded shot right into Will's pads. Good save, Will. Trying to pass it up the ice, but there's Lunning. Lunning almost got to head on a breakaway there. There's Krantz in the corner, shoving it back around the boards here. Eli Roman's going to go after it, comes away with it. And now Florio's got it. And then, who is that down there? Krantz, sorry. Krantz trying to get it up the boards. There's Ashmore on the other side. Lunning gets a stick on it, goes directly into the Lancers' stick. High shot, thank goodness, does not go in. Krantz and Eli Roman down low. Florio gets a stick on that one. Prevents a shot. I think Roman got hit with a puck. There's Florio challenging at the center. Whistle blown. I think Eli Roman got hit with one of those shots. He's heading off. Looks like he's okay. Okay, I think we got Zeke Collins. Yep, Zeke Collins, Von Case, and that means Chad Boyle on the other side. Chad Boyle is going to try to chase it back into our territory, actually. Lancers come away with it. There's Raykovsky. Von Case getting a stick on it there. Lancers shoveling it back to try to get a shot off. Here comes Collins. It's a one-on-one if he plays his cards right. He's going to try to get around. Does get a shot off. Stick save, technically, by their goalie. Hannah Pontow and Emmett Raykovsky here on D. We're keeping our forwards. Collins, Case, and Chad Boyle. Comes out to the side. Case putting up a fight there, as well as Collins. Collins still chasing. He's going to get it to the center. Lancers are going to pick it up there. There goes Raykovsky chasing to the corner. Hannah coming out. Good job, Hannah. Coming out of nowhere, giving them some pressure there. Oh my. That one rolled right over Raykovsky's stick, and Will ends up picking that one up. We're going to change everybody off now. We're going to have Derek Brown and James Roman as our defenders. And Pinkelman is taking the puck. We have Johnny Pollock here over on the left. I'm going to guess that's McVeigh over on the right, but I'm not 100% on that one. Lancers immediately get a shot off, and Will gets a great glove save there. We're going to reset. Yeah, that's McVeigh over on the wall. Groundhog Day. Here we go. Oh. There we go. Johnny Pollock almost gets a great breakaway there. Lancers end up with it, but at least we're keeping it up top and not down low. Derek Brown chasing over in the corner. There's Johnny Pollock with it. He's going to bring it back behind our goal. Gets caught up with a Lancers player down there. They're going to try to get it to the center. I'm guessing, nope, they send it back to their D to get off a long shot. Pinkelman gets a stick on that one, causing Lancers to send it into the corner. Puck pops into our zone. Pinkelman chases, but we're not going to get a hand on it. Changing our lines again. Here's Florio, Eli Roman, and Lunning. And we've got Krantz and Ashmore as our defenders. Eli Roman taking the puck for the puck drop. Lunning comes away with it. Niles, that's right. Niles Lunning. Forgot his first name for a second. He's got it down there. Ooh, good little shovel to the center. Very good idea, Niles. Krantz here trying to put up a fight. Florio is actually the one that gets a stick on that to slow it down. Lancer's going to come down. They're going to try to do a tip situation. Luckily, does not work out. Ashmore sends it up the wall. Actually, that was Lunning, sorry. Eli Roman tries to chop down that shot out of midair. Does not go in. Here's Lunning trying to get a stick on that one. Ashmore there. There's Florio with the puck. He's going to try to bring it up through the zone. We got to watch the off. They strip it from him. However, it's still live. He's going to, yep, he gets a stick on it. He's got 4 Lancers guys there, though. Eli Roman is down there to assist. And now we're coming this way. Anna Pontal tracking this guy here. Gets around her, takes a shot. I think that went off Will's cage, if that sound means what I think it did. They center it, get another shot off, and that's a poster. Bounces out. They're going to try to get it up. Florio tries to get a stick on it. Roman bounces it up into the zone. Here's Florio. Gonna, try to get around that player. Actually successfully does. There's just too many guys down there at once. There's Lunning down in the mix too. There's Von Case on the ice now. Hannah defending, and there's Rajkovsky skating after. Will gets a glove up. Ooh, nice. 2 good saves by Will. There goes Collins through the neutral zone. He's going to easily pass the first player. Passes over to Lunning. Lunning's going to try to pass it back to him. Just too long of a pass. There's Case chopping away at it down there. Collins giving it another go. All the Lancers players are down there, so that's going to be a rough one to get through. Oh, Hannah gets a stick on that to slow him down, and Collins does a little backhand over to Case. Case loses track of it in the middle, and now it's up to Hannah and Derek Brown. Lancers down in the center. Good job, Derek. Derek with a great stick there. There's Chad Boyle with it on the wall. There's Von Case, back to Boyle. And that's the end of the period. Hey, buddy.
What's the score?
It's 5-0. Junior Lancers 5, Mavs 0.
That was a great period. Yeah.
I'm gonna regroup here. What? All right, lining back up here, we have Chad Boyle, Zeke Collins at center, Von Case as our left winger. We have Derek Brown as our right defender, and there's James Roman. Going to be put to the test right here. chases the puck downtown. Actually, Brown is going to take that one. Good little communication there, guys. Lancers get it up top, get off a wild shot. Gianna Spencer. Ooh, with a save there. Kind of a glove, kind of a stick. Ooh, they get a pass to the center. And the kid whiffs. Thank goodness. There's Collins fighting along the wall there. There's, I believe that's nope, that's Derek Brown. And there's James Roman bringing it into the neutral zone. Stripped by Barry for the Lancers. Goes back down to Derek Brown. Ooh, that was an accident, but it looked cool. Derek tried to pass it up. Lancers got a stick on it. There goes Chad Boyle. Racing into the other end. Very good job, Chad. Geesh. He's going to get it to the center. Collins is going to try to get a shot off, and we lose the puck. Presto changeo. Where did the puck go? Hopefully in the net. Nope. No goal. We're not being greedy here. We just want one goal. There's Pinkelman taking the puck drop. McVeigh on the right. Probably Johnny Pollock over there on the left. That's Ashmore with the strong stick to send it down to the corner. They're going to test him again right here. He keeps it in for a moment, and then the Lancers are going to overtake him. Gets squirted out down behind the goal there. And Pollock using his body real well there, making sure they don't get it. There's Vinny Canigula with a really long shot and a good save by Gianna Spencer with her leg pad. There's Caniglia with it again for the Lancers. Over past McVeigh. Big scramble at the net. And we're going to try to carry it out. There's Johnny Pollock getting it out of the zone. Staying right there with it. Pinkelman with a stick on it too. Pollock's going to send it down into the corner. McVeigh's going to shoot it out right over to the goalie, who's going to cover it up. We're going to change everybody out here. Emmett Rakowski coming out. Hannah Pontau, that's our D team. Giovanni Florio, Eli Roman, and Niles Lunning as our forwards. Eli Roman about to take the puck. Puck drop. Florio comes away with it. Back to Hannah Pontau. She's going to do a good pass. Nice. Over to Rakowski, who's got to get it down low, and he does. That was a good play, though. Lunning down there fighting. There goes Eli Roman. There's Rakowski hopefully stopping it there at the blue line, buddy, and it squeaks out. Hannah is chasing as well as Florio. Well, now everybody's down there, aren't they? Rakowski with the stick on it right now. He's going to get it up the wall. And there is... Who is that? Oh, Eli Roman, sorry. Passes it over to Florio. Eli Roman comes up with it again after it bounces off Florio's skate. Florio battling down there with Eli and comes away with it. He's going to push, try to get it to the center. Ooh, good little pass by Derek Brown. Down to Lunning. Lunning gets shoved to the ground, comes up the wall, passes Brown, and there goes James Roman with the puck. He's going to bounce it up to his brother Eli, who's going to get it over to Florio, who's going to try to take it in through traffic. Gets stopped by multiple sticks. James Roman with another pass over to Derek Brown. Lancers are going to get a hold of that one, though. They try to get a pass off behind our net. Florio grabs it. He had to take the time to turn around, but he does successfully carry it into the zone. Oh, just misses. A backhand shot. That was so close. There he is again with it. And getting a little chippy there, pushing around. It's going to go back behind their net. There's Collins with it. Florio's still out there, and Lunning as well. But we have switched up to Krantz. There you go, Krantz keeps it in, pops out. Ashmore's going to handle it there. Yep, sends it up to Collins. Nice move. Collins has got it. He's got Florio down there to help. Lancers are going to take it across the line, though. We are streaking towards their goal now. And that is a glove save by Gianna Spencer. Good job, Gianna. 9:42 left in the third period. Switched out our forwards here. I believe that's Von Case, yep. And Collins remains, and Chad Boyle here on the left. Ooh, they're gonna sneak that one in. Honestly, was not watching. But I can see the puck went in the net, so that's a goal. 6-0. Junior Lancer 6, Junior Mav 0. Lining up here. We've got Rakowski and Emmett. That is Emmett. Emmett, Rakowski, and Hannah Pontal on D. Collins taking the puck drop back to Rakowski, who's going to scare everybody, but then eventually get it up. Case is going to chase it. There's Rakowski again. They get around Rakowski, so Hannah's going to attempt to put on some pressure. And she does successfully stop that. They get a pass up to the center, not able to get a shot off because of our pressure, so that's good. Boyle really giving them some grief up here at the top, so their passes aren't quite landing where they want them to. So that's good. Kid, I guess just practicing his puck handling by himself down there. Does not pass to any of his teammates. Now back along the wall. There goes Hannah after it. She's going to chase it until it's going to come up to our forwards. Ooh, there's Von Case trying to get a stick on it. There's Rakowski down there with it. He's going to get it up the wall to Case. Case is going to hopefully get it up out of the zone. There's a pass, goes up to Collins. Good job. He's got Chad Boyle right here. And Chad is going to go for it. Oh, it gets a poke check out of Chad's stick. Somehow Chad comes up with it, gets a pass off to Collins. Collins is going to try to shovel it into the center there. But Lancers are going to come up with that. We do have James Rollman back there as a defender. Ooh, yeah. Nice job, James. Lovely little poke check back. You get a poke check. You get a poke check. You all get a poke check. All right, Chad Boyle chasing over there. Ooh, Collins tries to take it out. Back and forth. There goes James down in the corner. He's going to try to send it left to Pinkelman there. Lancer's going to stick on that. Oh, man. Knocks James down. Collins gets a stick on that. There's Moo. Sloppy shot. Not a problem, though. Derek Brown's stick is on the ground, so he's got to retrieve that as everybody comes down here. Pinkelman chasing. Ooh, actually catches the Lancers pass. They're going to try to keep it in. Pops past Pinkelman. There's Ashmore. And there is a save by Gianna. All right. So Gianna goes off and Will Larson comes in. So they're doing this one split right down the middle. There's about 6 minutes left in this period. Johnny Pollock right there with his stick. Good job, Johnny. McVeigh there, McVeigh got hit. He's gonna have to go off. He's limping off. And they're sending on Eli Roman. Uh-oh, hope he's all right. Probably hit his ankle, somewhere in the leg. Ashmore here, defending. Where's the puck? Where is the puck? There it is. Yep, Ashmore with the back check there. Trying to keep it out of their zone. Pinkelman's out there. Eli Roman's out there. That's Krantz along the wall there, going to send it up. Eli Roman right there, hopefully coming away with that, although he's facing a Goliath there. Krantz in the corner. Eli Roman again. It's going to come the other way towards Ashmore. Ashmore's going to battle in the corner. Try to pop it out to Pinkelman. That's not Ashmore. That was Johnny Pollock in the corner. Lancers back and forth here. There's Will with the pad save. Krantz giving him a problem down there, so goes behind the net. And Pollock is going to come away with it. We're going to come up into the neutral zone. And Eli Roman is able to get it down into our offensive zone. Looks like we just sent out Hannah and Rajkovsky. Lancers streaking the other way. Will is going to be tested here. Easy glove save for Will. Nice job, Will. All right, we are sending out. Oh man, are they changing the lines? It's really going to mess with me. So, okay. Nope, they aren't. Lunning on the far side. Eli Roman taking the puck, and Florio over here on the right. Closer side to you. Hannah trying to get it up the wall there. Eli Roman tries to backhand it, but Lancers intercept. There's Hannah doing a pretty good job holding her own down there. Lancers run into the ref and aren't happy about it. Rajkovsky gets a stick on it. Florio's kind of flopping around for some reason. Gets sent back over this way. There's Florio and Roman trying to cut him off there. Florio comes up, and that is in Will's glove. I think we're changing everyone off already. Interesting. Okay. There's Derek Brown and James Roman as our defenders. Chad Boyle, Zeke Collins, Von Case as our forwards. Whoops. Lancers get a shot off. It looks like it goes off Boyle. Boyle going to try to send it up the wall, and he does. There goes Zeke Collins chasing it. Boyle picks it up. Back to Collins. Oh, he should have passed it over to Case. Didn't quite get on it. There's Rollman. They're going to get a pass around, and they miss. There's Chad Boyle up to Derek Brown. Lancer's going to pass it around for a bit. Back into the corner. There goes Collins after it. James Roman steps up to get a stick on it, and Chad Boyle has it now. He's going to attempt. He passes the blue line. He does have Zeke Collins there to help him out if needed. He's going to carry it all the way down. And he's going to take it all the way around the net and go for a wraparound. Roman, yeah. James Roman stops it right before it squeaks out of the zone. Lancers are going to get a stick on it, but it's still in our zone, so we're going to try to keep it there. Krantz, woo! Krantz with a keep in as well. There's Vaughn over on the wall. There's Ashmore. We are out, so yep, that's off. Line change again. Keeping Ashmore Krantz. But now Johnny Pollock, Pinkelman, and McVeigh. All right. Johnny Pollock almost comes away with it until he doesn't. And then Krantz is going to send it in all the way to the goalie, who's going to put a glove on it. 24 seconds left. Maybe one more play. McVeigh battling there in the center. Another goalie cover-up. And it looks like they're just going to run the clock out. So that's the game. Junior Lancers 6, Junior have 0.